Hi Rocketeers, thanks for joining me on this video lesson. I'm sure a lot of you have read books before, maybe with some family members or friends. Today we're going to learn some strategies so that you can start reading books all by yourself. Isn't that exciting? So before we start, I want to teach you a song that I love and I sing with my Rocketeers in kindergarten. I'll sing it first and then I'm going to sing it a second time and you get to help me. So this is my book. We need a book when we sing this song. You can use mine when you practice, no worries. All right, this is called the Parts of the Book song, and it goes like this. Front cover, back cover, spine, and title. Where is the author? That's who writes the words. Where is the illustrator? That's who draws the pictures. These are the parts of the book. Now it's your turn. Are you ready? All right, you can just use my book, no worries. Here we go. Ready, set, go. Front cover, back cover, spine, and title. Where is the author? That's who writes the words. Where is the illustrator? That's who draws the pictures. These are the parts of the book. Nice job, Rocketeers. All right, so now that we know the parts of the book, we need to figure out how to hold the book properly because we can't read it if it's upside down. Oh my goodness, does that look right? No, those words are the wrong way. So when we're holding our book, we want to make sure that we can see the words and the letters are the right way and not turned upside down. When we read, we turn one page at a time. So we open our book like this and we turn one page at a time. If we turn more than one page, we are going to miss some really important parts of our story, and that would not be very good. All right, now that we know how to hold a book and we know the parts of a book, I'm going to read a book to you and I'm going to show you what to do once we're inside the book and we're ready to read. So this is my book that I'm going to read with you today. Now, before we get started, can you find the title of this book? Good job. This is the title. Apple Tree. I know it's the title because it's in the biggest text or the biggest font. It's really large and it's at the top of our page. I also know that this is the front cover because I see the title and a big illustration. I also see that it's written by Karen Mockler and illustrated by Violet Kim. So the illustrator and author are also on the front cover. So we are good to go. Our book is the right way. It's called Apple Tree. Apple Tree. Okay, so before we start, this is so important. Do you think I start reading up here in the picture? Or do I start reading down here with the words? I agree. You're right, Rocketeers. We read with the words. We can't read a picture. That's something we can look at, but we can't read a picture. So I'm going to start where the star is. We always start at the first word on the page. When we read from left to right. Okay, so we start at the first word and we read from left to right. I'm going to show you on this page. It goes like this. An apple grows. Where do you think I go next? Ah, that's right. I go to the next line. This arrow tells me to keep going, but I don't turn the page yet because I have more words to read. So I start at the top at the first word. I read left to right. When I'm done with one line, I go to the next word and I read this line. So let's watch me read this whole page. Here it goes. An apple grows in a cycle. How does the cycle go? And then I stop because this is the last word on my page. So that means I did a good job reading this page. I'm ready to go to the next page. Okay, I see some cool smiley faces on this page. This is reminding me that when I'm reading, I need to read every word. And when I'm reading every word, I use my finger to keep track of where I'm reading. So because you can't see my finger right now, we're going to pretend that my arrow is my finger. So my arrow is going to touch each smiley face when I say the word to make sure I'm not skipping any words. Watch me read and watch my pointer. First comes the seed. Notice I didn't read it fast and I didn't skip any words. My pointer touched underneath every word. All right, let's read the next page. Then comes the sprout. Next come the years. It's important to read slowly and touch every word so you don't lose track of where you're reading. This page doesn't have any smiley faces left, but guess what? I know that good readers touch every word and take their time, so I'm gonna try that all by myself. Watch my pointer. Then comes the tree. Next come the blooms. Then come the apples. This page has a lot of words on it. I need to remember what I do when I'm done reading a line. Let's see if I can remember. I know I start at the top word. This is the first word on the page. It's at the top. So I'm going to read this word first. Seeds wait inside. I'm done with this line. I need to go to the next one. Watch my pointer. Each apple. The cycle begins again. The end. So Rocketeers, I want to teach you a secret. Are you ready to learn my secret? Okay, here we go. You can tell the difference between words and letters by spaces. There are spaces in between the words, and words are made of letters. I have an activity after this that we're going to do together that will explain this more. But you can tell the difference between letters and words by finding the spaces. I highlighted them on this page. That tells me that when I'm reading, I need to move my finger when I get to a space. So watch me read this sentence. Then, there's a space, so I need to go to the next word. Come the apples. The space tells me that one word has stopped and another word is about to begin. So when a word stops, I need to stop reading, take a breath, and read the next word. That tells me that there are different words on the page that I'm reading. So now that we know we can tell the difference between letters and words, we're going to practice counting the letters and words. So on this page, since we already divided it into words using our spaces, we are going to count the words. So I'm going to get my marker and I'm going to underline the words while I count them. I know a word stops when there is a space. Here we go. I would love if you helped me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I stop. How many words are on this page? 4 words. Nice job, Rocketeers. Now I have a challenge for you. We're going to do another page. This page does not have the spaces highlighted. So we're going to have to really use our brain. When we see a space in between words, we need to stop. Ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many words on this page? 4 words. Nice job, Rocketeers. Okay, you are excellent at counting words on a page. Now, I want you to count the letters in a word. So, let's go back to this one. I'm going to highlight the word that I want you to count. Okay, so the yellow word is the word that we want to see how many letters are inside. When we are reading, there are lots of words, and letters make up words. So this is the word blooms. Inside this word, there's a lot of different letters. Your job as good readers is to count the letters in this word. We are going to go slow. We're going to start at the first letter of the word and count all the way to the last letter of the word. Now, this one's a little tricky because it's at the end of a sentence. There's a period right here. Ignore that period. We're not going to count that. We are only counting letters. All right, so we start at the B because that's the first letter in this word. When I count, I'm going to use my finger or my pointer and touch every letter. I need your help, Rocketeers. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many letters are in this word? 6 letters. Awesome, Rocketeers. Let's do one more word. We're going to do the first word in this sentence. All right. Are you ready to help me count the letters in this word? We are only counting the letters, so we're not counting the words. We're counting the letters that make up the word then. We start at the first letter and we stop at the end of the word. So point to the first letter and let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many letters? 4. When we're counting letters inside words, it's so important to remember we start counting at the first letter. Everyone get your finger and point by my pointer arrow. Point to the first letter and say first letter. Great job. Now get your finger or your pointer, point to the last letter, point to the N and say last letter. Good job. All right, you did an awesome job reading this book with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Now we are going to do our craft. So I'm going to show you mine, and you'll be able to do the same one. All right, here's our craft. We are organizing all of these words and letters down here into 2 different categories. We're sorting them into a word category and a letter category. I know this is the word category because this is a word. I know it's a word because it's made up of a lot of letters squished together. I know this is the letter category because this is the letter C, uppercase and lowercase c. When you do this activity, you're going to cut out each rectangle on the bottom. You're going to start to cut them out, and then you have to glue them into the right category. So before you do this activity, don't forget to watch the video about how to safely cut and glue. If you don't have scissors, no big deal. You can tear the paper like this, that's fine. And you can have your Rocketeer either write the letter or word into the box or just tape it. All right, so I am going to start with this one. Rocketeers, is this a letter or a word? That's a letter. I know it's a letter because that is capital and lowercase e. All right. I'm going to do 1 dot of glue. I don't need a lot. 1 dot. This is my letter. And where do I put my letter? Should I put my letter in the word group or the letter group? I agree. E is a letter. It goes in the letter group. Let's do one more and then it will be your turn. All right, take a look at this one. Letter or word? I agree. I also think it's a word. How do you know it's a word? Yeah, we know it is a word because it is made up of letters squished together to form a word. This is the word like. Say like. All right, where should I glue it? Into my word category or my letter category? I agree. So now it's your turn. You are going to get to do this activity by sorting the letters and the words. This is an important skill to have when you're reading, so you know which words to read and when it's time to move your finger to the next word. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and have fun on your craft.